Time flies by these days, doesn't it? 2018 has come to its conclusion, and before we all head out there and break all of our New Year's resolutions in just 1 week, let us take a breath and appreciate all the good things that happened to us this year. And as I am the host of a non-successful gaming channel, why not do this with a top 10 list of the best games of 2018? So, this is the part where I tell you that this is my personal opinion. If you disagree with this, then this is completely fine. As long as we have the right for free speech, let us utilize it. And so, if you happen to disagree, please tell me your list or your opinions down there in the comments. And please also consider that I can only put on games that I have personally played. So I do not have an Xbox One or a PS4, so any of those exclusive titles could not make it onto this list. Anyways, I hope you do enjoy this, and without further ado, let's start. The first entry to this list is a rather controversial pick. To me, Battlefield 5 sits in this awkward position where it's just so easy to hate, but I can't help myself but having quite some fun with it actually. If you claim that Battlefield 5 is a bad game, then maybe you got a point there. If you say that DICE and Electronic Arts are screwing with their customers left and right, then yes, you are so correct. But if you say that Battlefield 5 is no fun, then I disagree with you. So far, I'm enjoying the massive battles, especially with a good friend of mine by my side, with whom I've played the crap out of Battlefield 3, 4, Hardline and 1. Battlefield 5 may not be a great game, but it's one that I certainly enjoy more than I should.
Da oben ist einer.
Ja, den erreiche ich so nicht.
Echt?
Wir haben eine leichte Schieflage.
Aber sie uns auch nicht. Jetzt sind wir über Kopf, oder? Temperatur. Ich hole uns hier raus.
Ich vertraue dir.
Coming up next is Bureibru Cross Tag Battle. Let me tell you that I am not a beat-em-up player. I have little experience with the genre, even less with this specific series, and I'm definitely not a good player. However, put Ruby into something and you've caught my interest. No, not you, get out of here. Yes, I am honest with you, if it hadn't been for the inclusion of Team Ruby, I would have ignored this game. While I mostly get beaten up by other players online, my livestream viewers can confirm, I enjoy the mechanics, the great visuals and of course the soundtrack. To me, beat-em ups lack the ability to keep me entertained for more than a few hours total. This one, however, kept me playing for longer than usual. No year without Call of Duty, and thus no year without me ditching way better games for this crap. Despite my harsh introduction to this spot on the list, Black Ops 4 does many things right. Getting rid of the automatic health regeneration in favor of manual healing was a good decision by Treyarch. It should also be noted that killstreak rewards are seemingly harder earned and are a less frequent appearance in most matches, which is why they are less of a pain to me this year, even though they are my most hated feature of Call of Duty. Also, Beenox, the studio behind the PC version, improved on a number of things in comparison to their last horrible PC ports. I don't like that there is no real single player. I don't like a lot of the specialist abilities, and I'm not a big fan of Battle Royale. even though I have to admit that this one is one of the better additions to the genre. But overall, the game is more enjoyable than many of the past entries. Fuck, meine Rüstung ist kaputt!
Meine auch.
Ja!
Bitteschön.
Chala Hetchala. It's somewhat ironic that the guy who just admitted to not being a beat-em-up player includes another one on that list. But come on, it's goddamn Dragon Ball. Even if I can't be thrilled by this genre for too long, I appreciate a good Dragon Ball game if I see one. And Fighter Z definitely belongs to them. It's filled to the brim with great fan service, fantastic visuals, and all that fast-paced Dragon Ball action we know and love. This is probably the most competitive and balanced Dragon Ball games have ever been, and I believe that this heavily contributed to the great quality of Fighter Z. One of my most favorite games ever celebrated a remake this year. Luigi's Mansion made a reappearance on the 3DS with a few improvements made. The art style got a neat revision, co-op was added, and the new achievements kept me playing for many more hours after beating the game. I also appreciate that we can easily re-battle bosses in this version. You know, without having to start again from the beginning. In spite of all that, I still have to complain about Nintendo's choice to release the game on the 3DS instead of, you know, the Switch. All the visual upgrades would have been better off on better hardware and 1080p output. The frame rate suffers from the co-op and the controls just aren't as crisp as in the original. I love this game. But for anything the remake improved, something else was disappointing. To me, 2018 was heavily influenced by beat-em-ups. Not only because a lot of them got released, but because a lot of them had something that made me interested in them in the first place. And recently, my favorite non-nostalgia influenced anime is most certainly Boku no Hero Academia. So of course I anticipated the release of My Hero Wants Justice, and I started to like it a lot. The game captures the style of the manga and anime pretty well and combines it with a fun gameplay. Slamming your opponent into a wall, rapidly clashing through the air and obliterating the stage is just so satisfying. I would say that the game doesn't control as precise as traditional 2D fighting games, but I think that this makes it more accessible to casual players. But maybe that's just me. Anyways, My Hero Wants Justice gets a Purusu Ultra from me. My next entry goes to Far Cry 5, a game of which I think that it got more hate than it deserved. When the game got released, so many people complained that the story isn't as great as the one from Far Cry 3, and that the antagonist is not Vaz from Far Cry 3, and that you don't have to craft every essential upgrade like in Far Cry 3, and that this game wasn't Far Cry 3. Well, I have to say that those things didn't bother me, as the overall gameplay is actually really good. No more annoying climbing on towers, no more annoying searching for that one kind of fur you are missing, and the rest was basically the modern Far Cry experience you'd expect. Improved co-op mechanics keep up the fun with friends, and I personally like both the story and the design of the world. There were moments where I simply embraced the atmosphere and the surroundings, and that alone entertained me. Furthermore, I kinda grew to like the soundtrack.
Ja.
Ich glaube, wir sollten... Er ist gekommen. Okay, er hat doch...
Halt. Hause. Fahr mal mit dem Auto weg.
Merkst du nicht, die haben eine heiße Liebesnacht?
Au. Help!
My pick for my personal place 3 is another controversial one. There are a lot of ingenious games out there, with their own unique style and lots of love put into development. And then I choose Insurgency Sandstorm. Just another one of those uninspired military shooters. But still, I made some of my most cherished recent gaming memories with this very game. Insurgency aims to be a quite realistic first-person shooter that's more accessible than Arma. Team play is essential for victory, and so far in many cases it worked with complete strangers. I experienced rounds with players that took the role of a team leader, and they executed their task remarkably.
Guys, wait for this smoke mortars to drop. Lay down cover fire, but don't actually engage.
Every decision you do for your loadout, every breath you take, every move you make, and every step you take can decide your fate on the battlefield. Also, I had some great moments with the voice chat. Insurgency has little progression and no flashy pop-ups for your score. But when a teammate tells you that you did a good job, then this is so much more rewarding than some measly 100 points for a kill.
We're on C, we're on C. They should be fine to push up. Nice, good work.
Insurgency definitely needs more polishing. As of right now, it sadly suffers from a lot of graphical issues. Yet, the great memories I made in the short time since its release and the challenging mechanics make up for that for me personally. My personal second place is Pokemon Let's Go. It's odd, really. Let's Go emphasizes a lot of issues I have with recent Pokemon installments. It's too easy,
Pikachu, go hard!
your rival is too nice, and it uses Pokemon Go's catching system rather than the classic mechanics. Nonetheless, from the very beginning, this game captured my heart. There's little to no challenge behind it, but I wanted to be the very best like no one ever was. I wanted to catch 'em all. I wanted to play this game from start to end, opposed to Sun and Moon that bored me way too much to beat it. By the way, it's entirely possible to play the game with just one vertical hold Joy-Con, which opens up completely new possibilities on what to do with a free hand. Like eating, of course. What did you think? Before I reveal my number one, let's go for some honorable mentions. That being said, the first one is a dishonorable mention. By the time of its release, I was sure that it would make it into my list. I was so hyped for Battalion 1944, and even more disappointed when this game turned out to be a complete failure. It lacked polishing, it's almost impossible to find a match in the first place, because both the server browser and the matchmaking don't work as they should, it crashes too often, and it lost all its players in a matter of days. Touhou Azure Reflections was originally released in 2012. However, alongside a number of other Touhou games, it found its way to the Switch in 2018. And I guess I should stop playing Call of Duty for a while to finally play them all. I love Touhou. I even wrote the whole script for this video while listening to Touhou's soundtrack. But,
I guess I didn't feel like putting Azure Reflections in the top 10, maybe. Another game that should have made it into the list is Little Witch Academia Chamber of Time. Little Witch Academia is one of my favorite anime, and I have to say that Chamber of Time is a charming addition to the series. Sadly, it's one of those gems I forgot to play because I was too distracted from far worse games.
Colors weave into a spire of flame. Distant sparks call to a past still unnamed. Bear this torch against the cold of the night. Search your soul and reawaken the undying light.
It should have been obvious from the beginning, but yes, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is by far my favorite game of 2018. Remember when I told you that beat-em-ups usually can't maintain my attention for too long? Smash is like the biggest exception to that ever. I wouldn't say that it is a perfect game. I would even go as far and question the title Ultimate, as I think that a few key elements are missing. But maybe that's a topic for another video. Just the addition of air dodging and all those subtle tweaks to the fighters and mechanics are enough to improve the already great gameplay even further. The incredible number of stages, music, and the appearance of every Smash fighter ever, plus some newcomers, blew me away. It would be nice though if someone at Nintendo knew how online gaming works. Then again, it has the goodest doggo Isabelle. Just look how cute she is. I demand you to love her. And then there's the most precious princess of Hyrule of all time. As I said, Smash Ultimate is missing important things for me to call it the perfect Smash. But all in all, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a fantastic game and my personal favorite of the now past year. Sakurai-sama, you deserve a head pat. Ich wollte deshalb eigentlich nochmal meinen Link teilen, aber das wird bei einem Retweet mit Kommentar automatisch entfernt.
Der Link?
Ja.
Oh.
お前はもう死んでいる。何